All right, what up, Stacy gang? We're back with another another video with Stacy Habecker and Made a Mess and the $1 Million Cleaning Business series. In this episode, we're going to talk about a little bit of a problem that Stacy's been having and try to work out some questions and some answers and do a little live brainstorming sesh. So, Stacy, you want to tell me a little bit about your problems that you're having, and we'll try and figure some stuff out.
So problem number one, I do not have enough time for all the things that I need to do in a day for my business.
So what are you missing out on?
Days where I'm working all day at these jobs and cleaning, I have no time to do any marketing. And I feel like I have to do marketing every single day.
Right. So are you feeling like by not being able to do marketing, you're kind of just at a standstill right now with the clients that you have?
Right. Yeah. So I'm not really building up my clientele as much as I was in the beginning. I'm getting like referrals sent to me from, my current clients, but it's not in mass amounts.
So do you think that you have a full schedule right now? Could you take on many more or any more clients?
Yeah, I could definitely take on more jobs every week.
About what percentage more volume do you think you could do?
I have some days where I'm only, have like one job. So we can do at least like 3 jobs in a day. So I'd like to have 5 days a week, 3 jobs, 3 jobs a day, 5 days a week.
What are you having to spend your time on a day where you only do one job? One job takes, let's say, 4 hours. Mm-hmm. What are you having to spend your time on the rest of that time in that day?
Those are the days that I try to get out and market and get out into like the neighborhoods and pass out my business cards and flyers.
Okay. So that comes down to how many hours a week do you think?
Right now I would say at least like 5 to 6 hours a week.
Okay. And how many hours do you think is needed to get done for that?
A lot more.
Like full time, basically?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably
so
full time.
There's a few things that we can do. I think it sounds like it's time to get another person on board, whether that even be part-time, just to kind of handle some of those things for you. Mm-hmm. Just for context, Stacy does have one employee right now. It's her mom who does all the cleanings with her, so she's not solo on the jobs. I've had people ask that quite a few times. Yeah. She hired her pretty much right away to do jobs with her. So she has a 2-person cleaning crew for all of her jobs. So as far as delegating, there's a few things that come to mind right away on what could be delegated. Obviously, number 1 is that marketing work, flyering. Number 2 would be, how much time do you think you spend on like selling customers over the phone, responding to texts and that kind of stuff?
Maybe an hour or 2 a day. Okay. So not too much.
Not a whole lot, but
yeah.
The thing about that is you have to be conscious of it 24/7. You're not able to focus on other stuff because your phone.
Yes, I'm constantly worried about my phone and, oh my gosh, is someone trying to contact me? I just missed a call. Oh my gosh.
Right.
I probably missed that client, because they're calling other cleaning companies now.
Well, and I know I called you like last week and I didn't get a call back for like 3 hours. So if a customer called at the same time, that would have been the exact same issue.
I know.
And
he was pretty upset with me. He even left me a voicemail. The only other person that leaves me voicemails is my mom.
Yeah, I left a voicemail saying, if I was a client, I would not hire your services. That was on the second call.
Yeah.
Because after like an hour, I called again and I said, if I was a client, I would not be hiring you. Anyways.
Yeah.
So the second one is calls, which you say it's only an hour a day, but I'm tempted to say it takes a lot more energy, mental capacity, if you weren't doing that, that you'd be able to focus on other things. And then the third option would be to hire another cleaner to work with you so you can get done with your jobs quicker.
Right.
With that, I would say you want to do that when you have a full schedule, but there's kind of some pros and cons there, even for your schedule right now. Is there anything else that you do that's like time consuming, especially things that you don't like to do? Because what I have told people in the past, the first thing that you should delegate is the thing you like doing the least. So then give that to someone else. You can focus more on the things you like to do more.
Yeah. One thing that I notice myself doing more than, getting supplies. And you told me from the very beginning, just order your supplies online. Mm-hmm. I was going to the store like 3 to 4 times a week because we'd run out of products. And I was like, well, I had to stop at the store anyways.
Right.
But that wasn't always true. So I think I'm going to start just getting things in bulk, either like one shopping trip and getting things in bulk, or buying things online, which I do buy certain products online. So
Yeah, there's got to be some cleaning supply wholesaler or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you either you drive to and you pick up enough for 2 months worth, or you
Yes.
just order online and you have it delivered. Because for a while there, every single day you were stopping at the store at the end of the day to buy another bottle of Windex, and it was driving me nuts. That you're like, I just had such a long day, and you stop at the store. It's like you could have just bought more yesterday.
Yeah.
and not have done that. But I mean, that's not something that's going to save you. Like that's something that's easily fixed. You don't need to hire someone to do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, other than that, the time spent in your day, is there really any other things that, obviously besides cleaning, but we like that because it's time on the clock?
I mean, the driving to and from jobs, but that comes down to also just narrowing all my clients into one certain area. But
Would it help at all if you weren't the one driving, so you could work on other things while someone else is driving?
yeah,
Because then you could fill out your spreadsheet, you could
Right.
order supplies, that kind of thing. So that could potentially be something that's a couple hours a day.
so I need a chauffeur is what you're saying.
Yeah, chauffeur. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or just fielding phone calls, because I mean, you can have more attention to it. You're not supposed to be on the phone and drive.
Yeah, no.
You can have more attention towards whoever you're talking to, or respond to emails or texts if someone else is driving. So that's definitely something as well that you could focus on. Or I mean, even if it's like you spend the time while you're riding in a car to do outbound calls to old clients, potential quotes, that kind of thing. But back to what the main 3 things that could be delegated. The first one being marketing. I think that's, looking at the situation right now, that's probably the first thing that I would hire out, because you can hire that out not at full time. You can hire someone who's not expecting 40 hours a week. You could, I mean, even though I think that would help,
Right.
there's like, no matter what, you're going to make your money's worth. So whether they're working 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week, or you have 2 people doing whatever, you're going to make your money's worth as long as you can handle that volume. But what's good with that is you could just start with 20 or whatever, and that's already going to be leaps and bounds better than what you're doing right now.
Right, yeah.
And you can probably hire someone to do that for 12, 13, 14 bucks an hour pretty easily. So with that, what problems do you see with hiring someone to do marketing for you, so we can solve those?
How do I know they're actually out there flyering and doing what they're doing? I'm not standing over their shoulder watching them. It's like
Yeah.
I just give them all of my stuff and then bye.
So that is definitely a big problem. I've had people flyer for my businesses in the past. For my pool cleaning business, we did a lot of flyering, and I found an app where, well, there's a few ways you can do it. I used to have this GPS device that would give to whoever's working. The problem is it was like $100 and then like $20 a month for this device. And if you have multiple people out, it was a pain in the butt. And if they quit or whatever, then you have to try and worry about getting that thing back. So I found an app that actually can be used with any smartphone. I think it's like 10, 15 bucks a month, so it's cheaper already than the other thing, and it uses the GPS on that person's smartphone. It's basically a clock in, clock out app, but it also allows you to do like a GPS breadcrumb tracking, which basically what that means is it'll show you where exactly they were, if they stopped, how long they stopped. There's a breadcrumb trail of wherever they were the whole day.
Oh.
And all they do is, when they start the day, they hit clock in. And if they go on break, they hit break. If they stop, they go, done with the day. And I've used that for flyers, and I've used that for marketing people for my moving company as well, who do like in-person kind of marketing like that. And the thing is, you still have to be on top of it, because I fired multiple people who still, they know they're being tracked and they still slack off. Or because I mean, for my pool company, for instance, at one point I had like 5 people who would go out flyering every day, and I would count every day not every day, but every week I would give them a certain amount of flyers each, and certain people would get through them like twice as fast as other people. So then I'd be like, okay, you put out 40 an hour. why is it that you can only do 40 an hour, but this other guy could do 65 an hour? And then they'd be like, oh, well, make up excuses, give them a couple chances. And then, you just find that some people are much better than others. So you have to whittle it that way. And it's one more thing to keep tabs on. But if you do it right, you only have to, look it up once a week or once every other week. So I think that would be the first thing to delegate out.
I think so
Because
too.
then that would drive the sales and kind of drive everything else.
Yeah.
With calls, that one's kind of tough when you don't have someone full time, when you can't you don't have quite enough volume to have someone sit there all day long fielding calls. There's some virtual receptionists that you can use that are, people who are basically hired by a lot of other people. A lot of times they're in other countries, but not always, who can field emails and calls for you. I've had some success with that, but I've never done it personally with live phone calls and stuff. So I don't have a ton of experience there, but that's something that could be worth, looking into.
Yeah, and another issue with the calls, whenever I do get them and I'm at a job, I feel like I can't take a call when I'm at this client's house, because either they're home and I just feel like it would be disrespectful, or they're losing my time.
Right.
I'm not giving their house my complete undivided attention, and we're typically charging people by the hour. So
Yeah,
I don't want them to
issue.
say, oh, well, you took 10 minutes to take a call.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue. The only way I can really see getting out of that at this point is either by you not doing the cleanings at all, you can just answer that, or if there's someone who is either a stay-at-home mom or someone who can answer a phone at any given time and you trust enough,
Right.
they might be worth giving a shot to do that kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that for me I like doing the least, so it's something that I would try to get out of the way right away. If you don't really mind it, I wouldn't worry about it at this point.
Yeah. So far, it hasn't been too big of an issue, but I imagine as I get more clients and people coming in and calling me and reaching out to me, it's going to start to become an issue.
Yeah, and the problem is too, right now, you have a lot of clients who text you and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's such a time waste.
Yeah.
It's good when there's a boundary between there's a fine line, because I hate to say don't talk to your customers. But the thing is, if you have this open texting line of communication, people will just write these huge paragraphs
Yes.
and expect you to respond at 9 p.m. and that kind of stuff, when if they know that there's a different representative at the company answering, they don't even think twice about doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a kind of person who likes the access to the owner,
Yeah,
but you don't
definitely.
necessarily want those
Yeah.
customers anyways, in my opinion. Yeah, I personally don't give my cell phone out to anyone.
Yeah, I was
because they
thinking
just blow me up.
Right. And there's quite a few people who said I could get a Google number.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, basically the number you have right now is toast.
yeah.
You're not going to be able to use that for anything anymore. Okay, so on to cleaning, hiring out someone to clean. I think the strategy here is you build up to where your two-person crew is can't take on any more jobs. While having someone do the marketing for you. And if it works in the way that it seems to be trending, that shouldn't take too long. So whatever amount that is, 2 jobs, 3 jobs a day for 2 people. And then once you have that, you hire a third person on, and now you have the ability to, instead of doing 2 or 3 jobs a day, maybe you can do 4 or 5 jobs a day.
Right.
You build that up until you're doing 4 or 5 jobs a day with 3 people. Then you take that second person you hired and the first person you hired, and they go in their own crew. You'll have to get a vehicle and stuff for them.
Yeah.
And they go back to doing 2 or 3 jobs a day with 2 people. Now you have an additional, let's say, 7 to 10 jobs a week that you need to hire another person, a single person, to work with you. So now you have a half schedule with another person for the week. You build that up, do the same thing again, eventually hire a third person, delegate them out. Do that 3 or 4 times, and you have an awesome business, basically.
Yeah.
I would say after you do that, third time, you probably won't be able to answer the phone anymore and do cleaning, because
Yeah.
there'll just be too much going on.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, I think that's like the solution to like growing it.
This guy's onto something.
The more and more I've been thinking about cleaning businesses, because now so many people reach out to me about how to start cleaning businesses and stuff. So I've done like a lot of thinking, having to do that. So, I mean, as far as finding cleaners, what are your thoughts on that? Do you have any ideas?
We went to Dunkin' Donuts one day, and we were just getting an iced coffee, and the two girls that were working, they were bored, and so they were deep cleaning behind one of the appliances, and you were like, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to give them your business cards. Like, they might be looking for work, and they might want to make more. So ever since you said that to me and I did that, now I see myself, like everywhere I go, I find myself, wow, that's a really great employee. Mm-hmm. And so we were at the gym, and I noticed that there's one girl there that is cleaning every single night, and she's so into it. She's got her headphones in, and I think she genuinely loves doing it, and I see her work. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking I'd give her my business card as well. Right. So I like, obviously online is, posting something like a Craigslist ad or something on like Facebook or social media in general. Mm-hmm. That's an option. But when I actually see what like these people and their customer service skills, that's what kind of catches my attention. And that's when I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see in one of my employees.
Right. And I think that is honestly like by far the best way to mm-hmm. find good employees for small businesses. If you own a business that you need to hire 50 people, that's just simply not feasible to go that strategy. But if you need to hire one person, I mean, it's so easy because you're going about your day anyways, you're going to stores, you're doing all these mm-hmm. things. And then every once in a while you see someone who is, excited about their job, working hard. It's like that person has a job. And a lot of times it's a low-paying job, right. Like at Dunkin' Donuts, they're not getting much over minimum wage, if that. Yeah. And we went there, and there's these two girls who were like, we're bored. There's nothing going on. And they had this rack pulled out, and they were like scrubbing down in the corners, like cleaning stuff.
Probably cleaning the grout.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
that's a great employee.
You don't see that very often. You don't see that very often, and that is the exact kind of person you want working for your company. They're not just sitting there bored. They're and they're cleaning.
Right. They're teenagers, and they weren't like sitting there messing around on their phones.
Yeah. But kudos to you, kudos to Stacy, because I said those are the kind of people you need to like reach out to and, hey, do you want a job or anything like that? And she went and grabbed some business cards and went and did it. So she wasn't scared of doing it. I'm sure it was kind of awkward to do because I've done it and it's awkward every time. Yeah. But sometimes it pans out. Yeah. But it's really about just kind of the numbers game there and mm-hmm. talking to enough people because not everyone's going to work out. One thing that I do with that is because it's awkward to say like, hey, do you want a job? There's just something weird about that.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure.
Hey, kid, you want a job? I say, do you happen to know of anyone who's looking for work? And I say, I pay X amount per hour, which is almost always better than what that person is making, mm-hmm. who I'm talking to. And then if they're interested, they say, well, I'm always looking for more hours. I'll take a card. Or they say, I have a friend who's looking for a job. Yeah. And that's the best way that's worked for me. Because I've hired people that way. I've also had plenty of success on like Indeed and Craigslist. The only thing with that is you just have to interview so many people and like really be strict about like how you're vetting people.
I hear a lot of like commercials also for ZipRecruiter. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, in my opinion, ZipRecruiter is not as good for labor type work. It's better. It's more focused towards like office type work.
IT and stuff.
Same with Monster. Kind of the same. I haven't had much luck with either of those as far as labor goes. I think that's really the next step is get someone hired for marketing, mm-hmm. have them do that. You're gonna make your money back. Worst case scenario, you break even. Yeah. So, but as soon as you start delegating those things out, your life's gonna get so much easier. Mm-hmm. Are there any other like complications that you see or like issues that you might have? I feel like I'm doing all the talking.
With hiring, you're just so great at it. With hiring someone?
Yeah, hiring someone. Yeah, marketing, what issues do you see happening?
When it does come time to hiring someone, obviously, I've been interviewed a ton of times, but I will have to like sit down and think, okay, what are my questions that I'm going to ask someone? Because I know what I value in an employee. You know, I kind of would want to duplicate myself and want someone who has the same values and is as passionate about people and them all deserving have a clean house or clean space. So, yeah, I guess I probably will be a little nervous about interviewing someone.
Yeah, my first interviews I was definitely nervous about. You'll want to work up some value-based questions then that are like scenarios, that questions where there's not like a right or wrong answer, but it would be something like, you have a client who has a broken leg. They hired us because they can't clean their own home. This scenario happened. What do you do? And you have to ask like enough of those to where you're kind of seeing their real character.
Right.
But that's another reason to hire people who are already working, because that's kind of like an on-the-job interview right there. You're seeing exactly how that person works and treats the people around them.
Yeah. Also, is it weird if I like have someone, if I want to see how someone cleans, to have them like come and like clean my house and I could see what they do? Is that kind of a weird thing?
You can probably do some kind of test.
Yeah, I just feel like that's
on the job. Yeah.
Like, what can you get done in an hour? You know, like
an hour is a long time.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe you could do that as a second interview. Like, this is our process. You know, if you pass the first one, this is your second one.
Yeah. That's just something I thought of, you know, because in an interview, you know, they could be great, but then on the job, it's like, oh my gosh, like you never know. So I was thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if that's a thing, and is that kind of weird?
It's a little weird, but I mean, it could work. There's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
What I've learned for sure, because now that I've hired, I mean, I've probably had close to 500 employees at this time. Definitely hire for personality, train for skill.
Okay.
Like, I would care less if they know exactly how to clean different types of wood or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But if they're like a good person and have a good like vibe to them, they're friendly,
energetic,
personable,
and
easy to get along, seem easygoing, I would choose that person over the hard-headed, skilled cleaner any day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So that's what.
I'll keep that in mind.
Choose. So, any other questions before we go?
That was really it for me. Yeah.
So now it's on to take some action. Thanks to Stacy for stopping here after a job and
looking ever so cute.
Oh, she looks great. She looks wonderful.
He makes me come and do these things after I've been cleaning all day, and it's like.
Yeah, we all need to thank Stacy for taking time out of her busy day and being part of these videos.
I love being here.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you have a profitable day.